Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Conqueror Gun Carriage. It's a British Tier 10 SPG, and this one's located on the south spawn of Halluf under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, he's riding again in his CGC, otherwise known as the Orbital Laser Cannon. And he decided to have a couple of games before he goes to work in the evening, because he's one of those busy men who work at an airport, helping to keep everybody flying, and so he works late shifts, night shifts, and keeps you all in the air. Well, it's got one mark of excellence on the barrel, and it's a 9.2 inch howitzer, so it can do considerable damage to the enemy, and he's moving into a firing position. Okay, he's looking for a target. Now the shells from this Arty will do 1200 alpha if they penetrate target, 59mm of penetration. It's got a long reload though, and he's now loaded and ready to shoot, but that Batchat 25 ton managed to get behind that rock, and he's got to overhead move. Now this is something I've been doing recently as well, because you can see what the target's doing behind the rock, and well, he actually did hit the ground right next door to that Batchat. He moved out behind the rock to take a shot, and I'm thinking he actually met the shell coming down at him. So I think he's managed to collect quite a bit of hit points there from that Batchat. And the Batchat is now in grave danger, and a T110E5 manages to finish him off. Now Bassman's almost loaded, ready to go. Object 268, Tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer, rather, based on the T10, and that must have landed right next door to him. Now, one of the most feared things about the Conqueror Gun Carriage is the fact that the shell trajectory is very high, and that means the shells are coming down near vertically on the targets. Bassman's opted to have a look in the northwest corner, and there's an Object 140 who's hiding out behind that rock, poking to have a quick look every now and then, but he's decided to go for this ship barn instead, who's full health and hiding, taking shots at people down in the valley. He's loaded, he's dialing in, he's ready to go, and rounds out. This should hurt him. Oh, it's a direct hit! Oh my god, look at that! He's lost half his health already. He's down to 599 hit points. That really did do the full damage there. It was almost 1200. He's lost a massive amount of hit points in one shot. I think it's close to 1200 with one shot. Very close. He may have wounded that 268 in the process as well. Okay, he's turning to attack the E100. Must be nice actually for somebody who's on a late night shift to be able to get a bit of fun in just before they go to work in the evenings. Destroy a few enemy tanks. I know, I always enjoy Arty play. I really do get a kick out of it. And he's gone to overhead because he's going to attack a bunch of tanks at once. Getting ready for the right moment to hit them. He wants to get them all grouped together, but they've all decided to split apart. Okay, they're going to bunch up together, I'm sure of it. Is he going to go for that IS-7 and the Object 277 next to him? He's trying to pick the right spot. Dialing in. They're poking. They're pushing. Rounds out. And yes, he does manage to get a nice bit of damage on the the IS-7. Got 315, and he got some damage assist, and the Object 277 is dead. So that was an effective shell. It's always nice waiting for enemies when they group together, because you can really maximize your credit earn. Wizzy 115A, the other side of the rock, Progetto, and T110E5. Got an E50 as well, making his way back to try and help them. But Bassman's going for this bunch of enemy tanks. When they're all together, you can't avoid shooting this lot because it's perfect. Rounds out. This should be good. Oh, yes, it was. He stunned all of them, and he got damage off the IS-7 and the M48 pattern. So he's maximised his potential there. Meanwhile, we've got a Progetto 65 fighting out with Action 10 and unfortunately the Action 10 came off worse. But Bassman's going back to this huge group of enemy tanks here, and he could even end up with a bombardier if he can get these tanks right. He could kill more than one tank with one shot. He's almost loaded. He's loaded. Rounds out, and they're all bunched together. And he hit all three of them. And in fact, the E100 took the worst of it. E100 took a shot for 361, but Bassman, well, he's wondering where that Progetto 65 has gone. There he is. He's actually fairly close. And I think he's decided that it's better off for him. He just moves position just slightly. Enemy must be wondering where he is. Unfortunately, we've lost all our defenders in the northwest corner. He's loaded. He's ready to shoot. Dialed in. Rounds out. And he was seen. And he's taking damage. And it's from an IS-7. And it's damaged his engine. He's trying to get back behind cover. He needs to repair that engine, but he's not using his repair kit. And it doesn't look as if he's going to be able to get away, but the enemy, his own team have managed to kill the enemy Arty, and they're now returning to their cap. And since it's 4 versus 5, I think they'll probably try to cap out as quickly as they can, and the E5 will probably try to protect the cap. Oh, Progetto 65-5 in this direction. Yep, and he got him with the second shot. But the enemy haven't put anyone in the cap yet. The Object 140 is capping. The Batchat's probably going to join him now. They'll need to, because the enemy could start capping any moment, and they could cap with 3. And in fact, the M48 Patton's come all the way around, and he just got wiped out by our T110E5. We've got 2 in the cap now. They've got 2 in the cap, but they started it late. And I don't think they're going to be able to get a reset in time unless they put 3 in the cap straight away. And if they did, the T110E5 would have to get into the cap. Yep, we're switching to the other side of the map, and somebody just spotted. Oh, and they got a reset. They did get a reset. And now it's equal. And unfortunately, it does appear that the Object 140's come across the map. And don't leave the cap, whatever you do. Oh, he has left the cap. Oh, and the Batchat 25 tons dead. And now, unfortunately, it looks as if they are going to lose this one. Yep, they haven't a hope in hell of winning. Oh, it's so sad. The Object 140 dashed across the valley. And that Batchat 25 ton is an idiot, because he shouldn't have left the cap. He should have stayed in there. They would have got a draw. But he made the mistake. So, unfortunately, ended up with a defeat. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's the 3rd class tank for the Bassman from Hell in the Conqueror Gun Carriage. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 13. And he got a Confederate medal because he did more damage to enemy tanks than anyone else on the battlefield, and at least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And of course, you saw that because he was getting that by firing multiple tanks with one shot when they're in the northwest corner. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save his teammates. The win rate for that game was 3,350 by the Bassman. So he put in a good effort, even though he got killed in the process. Team score wise, he actually didn't get the highest damage. That went to the Super Conqueror on the enemy team. He got 5,057 hit points of damage. Then came the Wizzy 111-5A. He got 4,277. And then came the Bassman with 4,023. When it came to kills, it was the T110E5 that shared it with the Super Conqueror. Both got 4 kills apiece. And then the Progetto 65 with 3 kills. The T110E5 on his own team managed to get a steel wall. And of course, we know Bassman managed to get that Confederate. And when it came to base XP, well, again, he's 3rd from top on his own team, but the high score goes to the Super Conqueror with 1,095, then the M48 Pat with 918, and the Progetto 65 with 890. And Bassman managed to get 495 base experience points out of that one. It would have been a different result, because he would have had an epic medal, and if it had been a draw, then he would have actually benefited from that. But unfortunately, it wasn't a draw because the Batchat was too silly to stay in the cap and wanted to go after that Object 140 to stop him getting resets. Okay, so let's have a look at the detail. 7 shots fired, 1 direct hit, 1 penetration, and 12 splash. So he was certainly splashing the enemy all around with only 7 shots fired. Damage of 4,023 hit points, of which all of it was at more than 300 meters. In fact, actually that penetration, I suspect that was on the ship barn because he did do maximum damage to that. Let's have a quick look at that and see exactly how much damage he did. Look at that, 1,251 hit points of damage with 1 shot. It was a penetration, and so yes, that's why it did the max damage. And in fact, it wasn't a full max roll with 25% above the alpha. It was actually above the alpha though, because that would have been 1,200 hit points. And yes, he did pen him. So let's have a look at the rest of the detail. Well, he damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 1 of them. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, yes, he did receive 2 hits. 1 from the IS-7, 1 from the Progetto. He did actually, I seem to recall, he got hit, or rather the Progetto fired 1 round at him and missed, or didn't penetrate. But it's not showing as a non-penetration there. I think it was a round that went into the tracks. But anyway, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 1, did damage assistance of 780 hit points and stun assistance of 1,309 off 12 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 58,014 credits, got 6,929 for courageous resistance. That's because he got an epic medal. And after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 14,553 credits. He received 2 awards, for 2 bonds for getting the awards for the Confederate, and 8 for taking part in the battle, which was tier 10. He also picked up 742 XP, got 439 for courageous resistance, took away 1,182 altogether. So yeah, I'm sure that the other games were much better than this one, but it's still a very high win 8, and so you can be proud of that. And he got some nice multiple shots on the enemy. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.